Hi, morning, Rob.
Hi, Anita.
Hi. So you
How's
are
it?
so early.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure what time it was. It was 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock my time, so I just thought I'd open it up. But I'm still working on some things now. I'm going to make a short presentation.
Okay.
Just a few things. What level are the students, by the way?
They're first year students, so
Which,
beginner,
which, which means, I don't know whether that means beginner, intermediate, advanced,
maybe beginner.
like how low? Like they're sort of like SEPA level A1?
Maybe A1. They,
A1.
they
Okay,
speak
so they're
English,
really,
but
really
probably
low.
not perfect yet. They
Okay,
can.
so maybe they're not good enough to answer questions directly.
Mm, some yes, but not all.
Okay,
Mhm.
right. So most it'll be them just listening to what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So they've already been using ER Central for a while, right?
Yes.
Okay. And are they familiar with the site, or are they just doing reading and listening, or are they using the vocab area?
I think just reading.
Just reading.
Reading
Okay.
one.
So
Yes.
I'll show them a little bit more. There's two or three things that maybe they're not doing that probably they could do.
Mm-hmm.
Probably they're not doing something called Text Helper, which is very
Yeah.
useful. Yeah. Do you know Text Helper?
No. So
Anyway, so that's something that will be useful for them to look at as well. So
yeah. So actually, we are at the end of the semester, Rob, but we do expect that they still they can continue reading
yes,
from ER Central,
that's right. That's right. They
and
just keep going.
next semester we will have extensive listening.
Ah,
So I'm thinking that probably we still can use your web.
yes, because we have listening activities, right?
Yes.
And I
Yes.
want to try and put some more things up. I talked with my colleague Todd,
Mm,
who runs lo.org. You know lo.org?
no.
Oh,
Not
you
really
should know
familiar.
about that one. E you should look this one up. ELLLO.org.
Okay. Okay. Let
It's
me
English Learning Listening Library online.
E
E
E
L L L,
L L L triple L
yeah, ELLLO
O
dot org.
.com. Okay.
Yeah. So you should try that one because the guy there, Todd, is a very good friend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and he has lots of activities like worksheets. The
Mm-hmm.
students can log in, go and work on a listening. So he's got literally thousands of listenings, which are short, 2, 3, 4 minutes. They listen, they can read the text, they can do
Mm-hmm.
activities, but teachers cannot allow students to log in. There's no login. So, as a
Mm-hmm.
teacher, you can't register your students and follow what they're doing.
So
It's
there is
all just
it's like English e-reader.net or something.
a lot of them like that. So there's no login at all. So you can't track what they're doing. So if you
Mm.
say, for example, I did so and so, like, how do I know? ER Central, you can track them, right?
Yes, yes. Uh-huh.
So, but ELO doesn't have that. So
Mm-hmm.
what Todd did some years ago is he gave me about 1,000 of the listenings from that, and
Mm-hmm.
they're on ER Central. But he's also added more. He's got videos. He's got many other things as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
that's more. It's more of a study type of thing. So you listen and do activities. You do vocab
Mm-hmm.
and and so on and so on and so on. So that's one thing that you can do. And what we're trying to do is we're going to connect the LO site to
Mm-hmm.
my word learning app. I have an app
Mm-hmm.
that we use for word learning. It's called Word Learner,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a free app. What we're going to do is you should be able to just go to Todd's website. There's a QR code,
Mm-hmm.
scan it, and
Mm-hmm.
those words immediately come to your app, and you can learn them.
Okay.
All right. So that's another thing that could be done. But just want to point your students at those ones. I will probably not do it to, I will mention LO today, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
Mm-hmm.
useful for them.
Okay. Yes, yes. Thank you.
All right. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carry on working with my PowerPoint, just a
Okay, yes,
few
please
little
go ahead.
points to mention.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I want to introduce them to making sure they have a good balance of knowing what to do with their English.
Mm-hmm.
What I find is that too many students focus too much on trying to memorize some new information, new information. You've seen me talk about this before, right? And so I want to make sure that they've got a good balance of things that they do. So.
Okay. And in ER Central, there are sometimes pink mark or red mark.
What do you mean?
It's like an indicator that we are cheating or something, but we
on the
yes,
on the teachers area. Yeah, well, it's not. Well, it's kind of just like, yeah, it looks like they read a little bit too fast. Yeah.
Too fast or too slow, Rob?
Or too well. The thing that comes up red for that text is a suggestion it's probably a little bit too fast, because what they can do in ER Central is they can just go click, 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 answer the questions. Right? They don't have to read it. It's always like click, 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 click. Right? And if they're doing it like that way, it comes up, 700 words per minute. It's like, you didn't read that.
Okay.
Right. So that's what that's for. Yeah. And it's just for the teacher. I don't think the students see it. So anyway.
Okay.
But they have a My Progress area in the website, which they can see their own progress as well. So. But they don't need to know the details that we do, right?
And they, what is it? They also send me a kind of report from, yes, there's such thing like that, right?
Well, we don't have reports. There's no way they can write about the books. But one thing that some teachers do is they have like a Google form. If you have a Google form and all the students log in, this is my name, this is my whatever, this is my book, this is my book report. And then you can just see all of these things from there. So that's another way to look at it. So, we have somebody's just arrived.
Yes. So Jessica is also a teacher.
Hello, Jessica.
Our teachers. Still.
I can't see you, Jessica. You're like this.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Rob. Hello.
Hello. I'm Jessica.
So are you teaching at the same school, a different school? Same school?
Yeah, the same school.
Okay.
So what do we call it? Team teaching?
Oh, team teaching. Okay.
With
So you're teaching first years too?
Yes.
Okay. All
First
right.
year.
So I still have a little bit of time left to work on my PowerPoint and get some things ready for you. And so what I'll do is you guys carry on doing what you're doing. I'll carry on with mine. I'll switch my video off.
Okay.
If you need to talk to me, just say, hey, Rob. Okay?
Okay, Rob, yes.
I'll still be here. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Ciao.
Ciao. Aku tak ke kamar mandi dulu ya, Yes.
Oke, Cik.
Matiin dulu aja kali ya, nunggu Daniel. Rob, hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. So we
Hello.
will start at 9. So I think some of our students are already here. Is that
Yep. Hello,
okay?
students. Okay, Nita, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, okay. Okay, good morning, everyone. Morning, Rob.
Good morning.
So we are so happy to have you here in our extensive reading class. Yeah, and I think yeah, we have talked a little bit, yeah, before this class starts about the purpose of this morning session. And the idea here is we want to know about ER Central a little bit more. We have used ER Central for this semester. So we assigned our students, our extensive reading students, to read texts, yeah, stories from ER Centrals. So we want to know more about that. And we also expect that by knowing more about the story behind ER Central, so our students will be motivated to read more and to use ER Central more. And before we continue, let me read Rob's biography first, and later he can add more. Uh, Dr. Rob Waring is a professor at Notre Dame Seisin University in Okayama. He has published over 80 articles and has given hundreds of lectures, plenaries, and featured speaker presentations in 32 countries. He is an executive board member of the Extensive Reading Foundation. He is also author and series editor of a 6 series of graded readers and has recently published Teaching Extensive Reading in Another Language with Polynesian. So Rob, so the Zoom room is yours now.
Okay.
So you have around 30 minutes, and then after that, there will be questions and answer. And students, if you have question, feel free to write down your questions in the chat box, and perhaps later we can read some of your questions, and we even will invite you to read your questions by yourself. Okay, Rob, please. The room is yours now.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Can you see?
Hello.
Can you see my PowerPoint? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. All right. Thank you. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about the background to ER Central and why I doing ER Central. What is my reason for this? And I just need to let you know that I have 2 screens, right?
Mm.
So this is my screen with my camera, and this is my screen with my PowerPoint, okay?
Okay.
So students, can you understand me okay? Can you understand me okay? Let me just
Yes,
make
sir.
sure. So
Yes,
thumbs
sir.
up, it's okay? All right, okay. So today I want to spend some time talking a little bit about why I built extensive reading or ER Central. And the first thing I want to do is I want to help you to understand the picture of language learning. I want you to understand what's important, what are the 4 things you need to do when learning a language, and then we'll show how ER Central fits this. So these are maybe some questions that you have. What's the best way to learn English? What do I need to do? Why does my teacher ask me to read a lot? Can I learn English only by studying? How much reading should I do? And so on and so on. I'm going to try to answer these questions for you today. So the first thing is we have many different types of words, okay? When you're learning English, you have individual words like apple and teacher and eaten and so on. Now we have word families. So we have the word use, we have useful, misuse, useless, and so on. We also have 2-part words like lunchbox or soccer ball or baseball bat. So there's many different kinds of words to learn. But we also have got phrases to learn. The day after tomorrow, how do you do you mind if I da 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 da, I'd like to da 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 da, right? So you have to learn some phrases too. But also, you need to learn word relationships. So which do we say? Do we say yellow car or blonde car? Anybody? Which is correct?
Yellow car.
Yellow car. All right. What about blonde hair or yellow hair?
Blonde hair.
Blonde,
Blonde
yeah.
hair.
So do we say, we can't say yellow hair, right? That sounds strange, right? What about watch TV or see TV?
Watch TV.
Watch
Beautiful
TV.
girl, handsome girl.
Beautiful girl.
Beautiful girl.
So if I say handsome girl, it's like, huh? Sounds strange, right? Weak tea or thin tea? Well, we say weak tea. All right. Here and there, or there and here?
Here and there.
Here and there. Okay. Right. So we have these word relationships, which we call collocations. So you need to learn words, and you need to know the relationship between words. The problem is there's so many of these. So you can't do it just by study. You have to read a lot to meet them, yeah? So how long is it going to take to learn? So here's some questions for you. How many total words do you need to read to learn enough English so you can speak English well? 300,000 words, 500,000 words, 1,000,000 words, or 5 million words? Anybody? Who thinks A? Hands up. Who thinks B? C? D? Answer is this one, D. So in this one, how many different words are in a typical textbook? 1,000 different words, 2,000, 2,500, or 3,000? The answer is there's only 1,000 different words in your textbook. That's not a lot, right? And how many total words would you meet by the end of high school? So you're first year university now. So in high school and junior high school, in middle school, how many words did you meet in your textbook? Answer, 100,000. So the answer here is, the answer is D. You need to meet about 5 million words to become a very good speaker of English. But your textbook doesn't have many words, and there's not many words in them. So you have very, very little, only 1/50. So you have to read and read and read and read and read, okay? So we know there's 2,000 useful words for every day. If you want to be advanced level in English, you need to know 4,000 words. If you want to read native books like Harry Potter, you'll need 9,000 words, right? In my university, I teach first-year university students in my university in Japan. They know about 2,000 different words. I don't know about you. Okay, so it's going to take some time. So if you learn words from word cards or maybe from a word list, you need to meet the word 10 or 15 times, right? So if you're learning from word cards or word list, you need to meet it 10 or 15 times. Then it stays in your head, okay? But if you're learning words from reading or listening, it's much slower because we easily forget. So when we're learning words from a word list or you're learning words from your textbook, learning does not mean remembering. So if I teach you 20 new words today, how many of those words will you remember tomorrow? 20? No. 10? 8? How many of those words will you remember next week? Even less. How many of those words will you remember a month from now? So this is the natural forgetting that students have. They always forget, right? This is normal. This is natural, okay? So what you need to do is to study a lot. So which is better? If you have a test coming here, is it best to do study, or is it best to do this? Which is better, A or B? Which is better, A or B? Study a little every day, study, then don't study, then study a lot before the test. Which is better, A or B? Hands up, A. A is definitely better. A is definitely better, but most students don't do this. Most students do B, right? So please make sure you do that properly. So A is the correct answer here, yeah? So when we look at forgetting, when we first learn something, which is our textbook, we first learn something, but very quickly, we're going to forget. We're going to forget something, right? We need to forget. So we need to study again to bring our knowledge up. But we're going to forget again. So we need to study again. But we're going to forget again. So we need to study again. Okay? So this is why we do, extensive reading, right? We do extensive reading, so we meet these words again and again and again and again and again and again and again, so you don't forget. But today I want to talk about 4 different things you need to do. You need to understand the difference between study and practice. Okay? So for listening and reading and speaking and writing. So for listening and reading, you're going to learn something maybe from your textbook. Okay? And then you're going to check your understanding maybe with some kind of test, speaking test or a writing test. But you also need to build connections between words. And you need to read a lot. But also you need to be able to speak and to write. So here there are 4 parts, and we call this a balanced curriculum. So let's look at each of these. Let's first look here. Okay. So usually your textbook looks like this. Okay. You have a short text, there's some difficult words, and maybe there's some definition or a dictionary. This is the way that many students learn to read, and it's a good thing to do. So in this area, you're building vocabulary, you're building your basic study skills, you're learning to use a dictionary, and you're using your textbook. All right? That's what you're doing here for language study. So here you will study with the teacher, for example. You've got a pen in your hand and you're studying. You use a dictionary maybe. Maybe you're learning words from a word list. Maybe you're studying word cards. Or maybe you're learning with an online, an app. Maybe a word learning app, for example. So this one, Word Learner, is my app. I made this app, and it's a very good app for learning words. It's free. Please go to download this app. It's a free app for learning words. It's got many, 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 many word lists. It's got a test. It's got many word lists you can choose. It's got 8 different games you can play. This is free. Please go and check it out. Okay? So that's this one. Now in this box, you do tests or you're doing exercises. Let's look what you do here. Here you try to check your understanding. So in this box, you're learning something new. Now I check my understanding. Okay? You check your spelling and pronunciation, check you've got the meaning correct, and check your language in a controlled way. So let's look. So in this area, you're using your textbook and you're doing exercises like this, right? This is all part of study, all right? So you learn something new and you check your understanding. This is all study, and that's good to do. There are many exercises that you can do. Maybe you do this kind of thing, you fill the blank. Maybe you write out sentences again and again. Down this next box here, now we're talking about communication. This is where we do our extensive reading. So the top part here, you're doing your study, learning new things, checking I understand. Now we practice this, okay? Lots of reading to build your reading speed, build a sense of how does this grammar and vocabulary go together? Building your world knowledge about the world, about places and people and so on. And you're trying to network your knowledge to make connections. And you want to learn to read naturally and listen naturally. So you want to build independent learning, okay? That's what we do here. This is why we do extensive reading. There's two kinds of reading, as I said. Study reading, which is to learn new words and new grammar, okay? That's the study reading with your textbook. Then we have easy and fun reading, which we learn to read faster, read naturally, and we meet lots and lots and lots and lots of words. Okay? So, in the first one, this is learning to read. Yeah? So you use your textbook, we do it in a class, new words and grammar. So you're studying and maybe you're taking some kind of test. That's at the top here. At the bottom is your reading practice. Can you see we have a pen in your hand? This one, what do they have? They have a book. All right? So this is what we do. We're reading down here. This is the same thing if you learn the piano. If you want to learn the piano, you need to do the same thing. You need to learn about the piano. You have a teacher. You have someone showing you what to do. But down here, you need to practice the piano to get better. You listen to music and then you try your own music. So this is the same thing here. So a typical textbook looks like this, and we study using a pen. But this is a different type of reading. Yeah, this is reading with books. Yeah, this is extensive reading, and this is extensive reading. But maybe also you might want to listen, or maybe you want to watch YouTube videos. These are all good things. So this is to help with reading speed, listening speed. You meet lots and lots of language. So we listen to stories or we watch stories. We read storybooks. We read stories like this. And you can find this on ER Central. This is why we have ER Central. ER Central is to help you with this reading and listening practice. There's no grammar here. There's no study here. This is all practice. Your textbook will give you the study. This here is the practice that you will do. So the last box we need to do is we need conversations, debates, discussions, and to learn to write and speak naturally. This is the last thing you need to do. So here you'll maybe write a letter, you'll write a report, you'll write essays, you'll talk with your friends, or maybe you're going to give a presentation for a business or for your school. So these are the things that you need to do. All of these 4 things you need to do to be good at language learning. So to repeat, we'll go back. You need to learn new things. You need to check your understanding, as I said, with tests or maybe exercises from your textbook. Down here, we have to read a lot. We have to listen a lot to build connections and meet millions and millions of words. And down here, you need to practice this with speaking and writing, with essays, debates, discussions, and so on. So, why can't many students read, listen, speak, and write well? Well, the first thing is that students forget, of course. Students, this is important. You should spend 70% of your time on old things. 70% of time of your learning should be, what did I do last week? What did I do last month? Because we forget. Because if you don't, it will be forgotten forever. So you need to make your learning stronger by meeting words and grammar again and again and again and again. This is why we do extensive reading. Don't focus only on learning new things, right? Make sure that you do all of the parts of the 4 balanced curriculum I said, yeah? But note that your speaking can only happen when you feel comfortable. You cannot speak until you feel comfortable with words. If you don't know what to say, then you will say nothing. So do I say, for example, I go Jakarta, I went Jakarta, I go to Jakarta, I go at Jakarta? If you don't know, you just say me, Jakarta, right? Because you don't feel comfortable. So you need to build your experience with words and grammar. So you'll feel comfortable when you've met words and phrases many, many, many times. So read, 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 read. So I want to now talk, but don't only do that, of course. You need to also speak with your partners and so on. And later, we'll talk a bit more about this. So now I want to show you ER Central for a moment. Okay, so you can now see my screen. This is, as you know, ER Central. So this part here, the read part is that bottom part, the read and the listen. These here are to help you build lots and lots of knowledge. And you're familiar with this, right? So we go inside here, we click this, and we open up your reading library. Yeah, maybe you have some reading bookmarks and so on. So if we go to our reading library, which is here, and maybe you choose a text, for example, Mystery House, which you know how to do, and we can read our text. But what many students don't know is that when you read the text, what you can do is, maybe you don't know this word scooter. What does scooter mean? So what you do, many students don't know this, right click, here's your definition. So this is the meaning for you. Did you know this? No, right? So if the word you don't know, garbage, what's this word? There's the meaning for you, right? Now, if you want to, you can now click this button, save this word. So now you're going to save this to my words, right? So if there's words you don't know, you can use this. So let's go home. Let's now go to the vocabulary room and learn my words, okay? So these new words have been put in your learning area. This is your learning area, okay? So for example, we'll start. We're going to choose which word list you want to use, right? And you're going to start. So you can learn words. The word ocean. Do you know the word ocean? I don't know it. I think I know it. I know it. Ocean. What's ocean? I think I know it. A large body of salt water, largely. Ah, yes, 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 yes. I was right. That's right. So this then moves to the next box. Stone. Do you know this word? Not sure. I think I know it. Hard, solid piece of rock. Ah, oh, I was wrong. And whoop, goes back to box 1. So you can study words here. You can also add new words. You can also add new words here. Can you see the word garbage? We just added garbage, right? Did you see that? Right? So now you can add this to your list of words. You can create new word lists, okay, with words that you've been learning. So please make sure that you do that. Now I want to show you one more thing. I want you to imagine that you're reading the newspaper. You're looking around the internet on a web page and you find the Jakarta Post. And you find an article that you don't know, right? So you think you want to read something. So let's just open an article. Let's click this one, yeah? So yesterday in Indonesia, there was a big volcano, right? And you want to read about this. So you're reading this web page and you think, Jakarta, about 500 people fled. Fled. I don't know this word. Fled home as a summer volcano? What's this word? Released. I don't know this word. So there's many words you don't know. But ER Central can help you. So what you do is you take all of these words, right? Take the article, copy, go to ER Central, and then you go to Text Helper. Now what this does is you choose your language. So your level, maybe you think you're, say, level 6, for example. Now what you do is you paste the text into here. So this is our text, okay? Now what you do is you get the meanings. And what this now does is it finds all the words which it thinks you do not know. All the words outside your level. So all of these words in red are words that maybe you don't know. So as you read, Jakarta, about 55 people fled. Oh, fled. To leave somewhere urgently. Ah, okay. Right? So the words that maybe you don't know will become here. Then, if you select all of these words, or just some of them, I know this word, I know this word, I know this word, you can add them to your word list. The word list I showed you before. Okay? So this is another thing that can help you to understand articles from the internet, maybe something your teacher gives you. So Text Helper is a good tool for you to be able to do that. Okay? So when you're learning with ER Central has many different things that we're trying to do. The first thing is we're trying to help you to read, and you can read slowly and look up each word if you wish. Or you can read quickly. This is what the speed reading does. The speed reading section here. Oh, I need to select a text first. Okay. So I'm going to return to the reading library. So here we are. These are some texts. So your speeding texts are here. So I want to read, for example, rap music. I want to read this quickly, okay? So now I'm going to read the text with Speedy Reader, okay? We're going to read fast. I'm going to time my reading. Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now when you read, you try and read quickly. And as you read quickly, I'm sorry, this may be a little bit small for you. Maybe that's better. Notice that we have a timer. We have a timer here. So you can read quickly, and then when you click, I finished. Wow, 1,300 words per minute. That's crazy fast, okay? So if you wish to, you can check your reading speed here too, right? So those 3 things I want you to learn about ER Central. Make sure that you right-click and save words to your vocabulary area. And that's good for word learning, right? And you can check your learning with the vocabulary games, all right? Then you do the reading and you do the listening to try to build your listening speed and reading speed. Okay? What I would next suggest that you do, what I would suggest that you do after that is I want you to, when you finished your reading, I want you to, oh, just a moment. I want you also to do some exercises, yeah? So one thing that you can do is, I'm going to share my screen again. So on here, what you could do is you could make a book review. So here, you can read something on ER Central, and you can make a YouTube video. There's a website called Flipgrid, which is very, very useful for making interviews. So these are some book reviews that students have done in Indonesia with Husna. Maybe you remember Nita Husna from Jakarta. Or you could, if you wish, keep a list of the books that you read. You can write a book report, for example, if you want to do that. Different book reports you can write. You can discuss with your friends. Yeah, make sure you discuss with your friends about the things you're reading. You can do question bomb, ask Anita about that one. You can do book reports, and you can do things like this. You can make presentations. You can make a puppet show. There's lots and lots of different things that you can do. And if you want to, you can even write your own story. Write your own story. And I'll put it up on ER Central for you. Okay? So those are some things I want you to understand about ER Central. ER Central is to help you with word learning. It's to help you with texts on the internet, which you do not understand. So you can find new words in there. You can save the new words to learn. So this is all part of study. As I mentioned before, it's all part of study. And then if you want to practice, then you would then do your reading, do your listening, and so on and so on. So please make sure you do that. Now, there's one more website I want to show you. So let me just change, and I want to show you one more website. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to also look at this website. So this website is run by a friend of mine, friend called Todd. And here, this website is called ELLO, ELLLO.org. And it's free, like ER Central. And here, he has 1,500 listening lessons. He has 1-minute English videos. He has grammar activities, news center, and different things that you can do. There's lots of things that you can do. So for example, these are some videos. Oh, what's this one? An advert. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it says here's from the Philippines. And so you can then, oh dear, I don't need the advert. You can then listen to Cess. Right? So you can listen to her. This is her text down here. And you can probably do some exercises. So here there's a quiz, right? So you can do a quiz if you wish, right? So ELLO is another site like ER Central that you should also use, right? It has videos, not just listening and reading, yeah? It doesn't have reading, but this is to help you with your listening. And Anita was telling me before that maybe you're going to do a lot of listening next semester. So this is a really good place. This one here has 1,000 free lessons on 1-minute English, right? So lots of different things that you can have a look at there. Lots of different videos from many different places. You can see the speakers come from like Switzerland, from Philippines, from the UK, Uruguay. speakers from all over the world. And this is completely free. So please use that as well. Okay. All right. Do you have any questions, anybody? Let's put some questions in the chat. Let's just have a look. Okay. Any chat questions? All right.
No questions yet.
Any questions at our part? Yeah. Any questions about anything is okay. Maybe Anita, if you have a question.
So actually we have to add the teachers, yeah, 2 ER teachers, maybe Jessica or Danielle. And we also have Ibu Justina, Priska here. So suppose if you have questions, feel free to ask questions. And students, so if maybe they are too shy to ask.
Yes, I understand. My students are shy too. My
So
students
you
are
can
shy.
write down your questions if you are too shy to speak.
You can just type them, yeah.
Yeah, while waiting for them.
Hmm.
Bu Jessica, Pak Daniel, Bu Justin. Mm,
Danielle, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question here. So we have several levels there on our central. I'm just curious, how do you actually categorize those books into their levels?
Okay, so this is a question really for teachers. And so what I do is if I've written a text, let's just take this text that we had before. Okay, now there's another area inside ER Central which teachers know about that is useful for teachers who want to find out the level of a text for their students. So there's a tool called OGTE, which looks similar to Text Helper before, but this really is for teachers. And what this does is, again, you paste the text into here. And as a teacher, you'll say, oh, my students are about this level. And I'm going to analyze. And it will tell me which words are outside the level. So you say, that text is too difficult for my students. So I need to now change this. So you can go into here and you can change some of the text, right? So you can make this easier for the students. So this is what I did with ER Central. I wrote some text, I put them into here, and I'm trying to make it so that the text is the right level. So you can see here that 72% of the words are inside level 11. But really, we need to be about 90. So I need to edit the text, take out difficult words, make sentences easier, and this percentage will go up, okay? So I want to get to about 90%. When it's ready, I then put it into ER Central, okay? So this is my tool that I use to find out the level. But of course, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. The level, say 7 for Indonesian students, maybe people in France or Germany, level 7 is something completely different, right? So it's not the same. But this is what I use to help put the text into ER Central. But one thing about ER Central that I'd like you to know is that, as you know, in ER Central, if you have a reading, you can change this one here. So we also have Bahasa, as you know, but, big but. The translations are not very good. Yeah, they come from Google. So please don't believe everything that you see on here. If you go back to Text Helper, you put in your text like we did before, and now we get meanings. The meanings will come in Bahasa, but probably they're wrong, okay? So I need to improve the word list. Okay. It works very well for Japanese or for other things, right? So, oh, it's not come up in Bahasa. Oh, that's right. I told it to switch off Bahasa. But if this was in Japanese, then we'll be able to, let's do this again. It should come up in Japanese. So view the translation. So this will bring up the words outside my level in Japanese, yeah, but not for Bahasa. Oh, and it changed. Oh, sorry, it moved it back to, there we go. Yeah, so it moved it back to Japanese, yeah. But so, if anybody can help me with the word list and make it better, then that will be better for your students too. So, okay. Do you have any more questions?
So it's based on the difficulty of the words,
Uh,
because
this is I can answer. It takes an hour to answer that question.
okay.
But yeah, it's not just on difficulty, but it's also on reading. So if I think that when I'm deciding the level of a text, I think about a student. So for example, my student, her name is Akiko, and Akiko is level 6. So I'm trying to write something. Will Akiko understand this? What does Akiko know or doesn't know? I don't think she knows this, take it out, right? But for another student, Hiromi, she's a higher level, right? So I will write for Hiromi. That's my way of doing it. So it's not just words. It's sometimes to do with grammar. It's sometimes to do with the content and information that's in the text. Sometimes I make long sentences shorter. So there's lots of different ways to adjust the level. However, one thing that ER Central does that maybe you don't know is that when you register for ER Central, you're known as Indonesian students. So what happens is when student A reads a text, when you've finished reading the text, let's go back to English. When you finish reading the text, you have a short quiz. This was easy, this was difficult, right? So a text starts at, say, level 7. But if students say it's too difficult, then the text difficulty goes up, 7.1 or 7.2 or 7.5. So all the Indonesian students are saying if it's easy or difficult. So all of the texts get moved from level 5 to level 7 to level 9 to level 3. And this is all changed depending on what Indonesian students say. For Japanese students, that's a different one, okay? So the idea is the more students answer, if it was easy or difficult, makes it all the text level for the students more automatically. It's an automatic leveling system, okay? So a text may start at level 6, but may end at level 8, okay? Because the students have adjusted saying it's easy or it's difficult, okay? So it's an adjusting leveling system. The more students that use it, the better the levels become. Okay, any other questions? Okay, that's fine. Anita, you said 45 minutes, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
One more questions, maybe
Sure.
from students, please.
Anybody?
So perhaps.
You look like you have some intelligent students there.
Students,
Anybody? No question?
or if you don't.
Well, if they want to, they can maybe give the questions to you, give them to me in an email, and I will type a response.
Okay, yes.
All right, we'll do that for you.
So one student, maybe if you don't have questions, probably you have, I don't know, a kind of words. Yeah, your what is it? Telling us about your experience using ER Central, or if you want to say something directly to Rob. Feel free.
Okay, I have a question for you though. Yeah. Okay, I have a question for you all, and I'd like you all to please give your answers to your teacher. I want you to tell me, what kind of things do you want to read about? Yeah. What kind of things do you want to listen to? Because I'm always adding new things to ER Central. And if you tell me things you want to read, then I will put them onto ER Central for you. So I need your input. If you want ER Central to be better, tell me what kinds of things you want. What kind of topics you want to read? Do you want stories? Do you want information? Do you want biographies? Do you want the text to be longer? Do you want the text to be shorter? What do you want? So please let me know.
Okay.
Because I want to help you, yeah? Now, I want to explain to you why this is free, right? Now, this website cost me a lot of money to build, a lot of money out of my pocket. So I got no grant, no support from anybody. And this website cost me thousands of dollars a year to run for free. Okay, so this is why we have some advertising. Yeah, so I'm sorry about the advertising, but it helps to pay the cost. It doesn't cover all of it. But my main reason for doing ER Central was for data. I'm a professor and I want to understand which words students know. And I want to understand about the reading, what kind of things that you read, how quickly you read, what kind of words you have trouble with. And ER Central is keeping a record of this. So ER Central is gathering data for me to understand how you learn. So that's the reason I'm doing this, yeah? So I have lots and lots of nice data to find out the difference between Indonesian students and French students and Turkish students and so on and so on. So ER Central is gathering data, not personal data. So it doesn't know which person this was, right? But it just knows that Indonesian students at this level do this, right? But it doesn't know your name. It doesn't know your address. It doesn't know your email. Yeah. So I don't want your email, right? Please, it's okay. I don't need it, right? But the reason I'm doing it is for research, so I can help Indonesian students learn to read better. Okay. That's it.
I have a question.
Okay. Yes. Jessica.
I've just remembered that last week, one of my students asked me when he did the quiz after reading a text from ER Central, then he got the red marks. Is that so? Considered as cheating.
Oh.
So, but he didn't cheat at all.
Okay.
So he asked me about that and whether it will affect his score or not. And I asked him actually to ask this question to you, but I think he is too shy to ask this question. So yeah.
Okay.
How does this ER Central assess the quiz?
All right. One of the things that we have for teachers is we do have some students are going to cheat. That's always going to be the case, yeah? And so what I've done is I put a timer in there. Now, if the students are reading a text, if they read a text and they are reading the text like too quickly, like next page, next page, next page, next page, next page, you're reading 2,000 words per minute, of course the student's not reading, right? And the same with the quiz. Sometimes students go to the quiz and they go tang, 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 without checking. Sometimes if you do it too quickly, it will say, I think maybe you're cheating, I don't know, right? But that's not often the case, yeah? So the point of this red one is to like, maybe you're answering too quickly. Maybe you're reading too quickly. Did you really understand? So this is useful information for students to say, oh, maybe I'm reading too quickly, maybe I'm answering too quickly, but sometimes the system will be wrong, right? But often it's right, okay? So this is sometimes a check for the teacher as well, right? So if one student is reading all the text at 500 words per minute, 700 words per minute, the teacher can say, that student's probably not reading because I cannot read at 500 words per minute, okay? So this is a thing for the teachers because sometimes students will cheat and this is just to help you, yeah? Okay.
Okay, so it seems that 1 hour is too short, yeah, because I
Right.
think there are
Okay.
so many information that Rob can share. And yeah, although it's quite short today, but we learned a lot. Yeah, maybe so far we have explored ER Central only up to the reading sections only, and perhaps some students have, maybe they have checked or they have explored about vocabulary room, but from us, the teachers, we probably haven't told or haven't instructed our student up to that point. But thanks again to you, Rob, because after this
pleasure.
meeting, students don't stop exploring ER centrals because there are lots of things that you can use independently without your teachers. Like, for example, the text taken from the internet and you can check your level and the vocabulary room. So it's important for the students to have many vocabularies. Otherwise, you cannot speak really well. So please keep on using ER Central. And perhaps next semester, Jessica and Daniel will be the teachers of extensive listening. So probably you can use ER Central more for the listening section and also the ELLO.org.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's useful.
very,
You
very
might also want to just look. You might want to also look at the app that I mentioned before, Word Learner.
Oh yeah.
Now, Word Learner is an app. I can just show it to you here, for example. So you have some word lists, and you click on a word list. You have some games to play, and you play the same games that we have on ER Central. Okay. You know, do you know, and so on, right? And there's different types of games that you can play. So this one here, these are the same games you play on ER Central. So this is all free. It also has a dictionary, has a big dictionary. Any words you don't know, type in here and you get the meanings. And you can save them to your private word list, yeah? You can't quite see that, right? And again, this is free. Word Learner. Word Learner. Please do that. Okay?
So students, you are very lucky because you were born in this era. so, so all apps, all the internet support you to learn individually. The point is whether you want to take it or not. So I think that's all for today.
Thank you very much.
again, Rob. So before we end this session, maybe we can have a picture together. Daniel?
Yes, nice idea. I
Okay,
hope to be
teachers.
able to see you all when I come to Indonesia. I hope as soon as COVID is finished, I'm coming to Indonesia.
And
Again.
please come to Salatiga, Rob.
Yeah, Salatiga. Yeah? I was there before, right?
Yes, in 2018.
Yeah, lovely place, Salatiga. Just one day there, right? We had, was it 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Wow, long time ago.
Okay. Daniel, please help.